Hello and welcome to my channel, and we are in continuum with the National Health Programs. We will on. This section will focus on the Reproductive and Child Health Programs, JSSK, JSY, Indradhanush Mission, National Program for Family Planning and Mission Parivar Vikas, ICDS, IMNCI, the Intensified National Iron Plus Initiative under the Anima Mukt Bharat strategy, adolescent health programs and certain trivia about them, and the Rashtriya Kishore Swasth Karyakram. Regarding the reproductive and child health program in India, it evolved from the RCH Phase 1 way back in 1997, where it took over from the CSSM and moved on to RCH Phase 2 in 2005. It lies at the heart of an RHM, means that for major health system strengthening, for improving the reproductive and child health outcomes. RCH2 is a comprehensive sector-wide flagship program under the umbrella of the NRHM to deliver the targets for improved MNCH outcomes. The aims are to reduce the social and geographical disparities in access to and utilization of quality reproductive and child health services. A range of proven evidence-based strategies adopted in core of maternal health, child health and family planning to achieve the desired reductions in the key RCH2 and National Rural Health Mission goals regarding maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate and the TFR. The key principles in RCH2 envisage a bottom-up planning approach that gives flexibility to the states to evolve program based on their contextual needs. And it also moves away from the previous one-size-fits-all design, and the states are allowed to plan according to their requirements. And it has ensured a more explicit pro-poor focus and evolving a shared vision and a common program, that is a sector-wide approach. Well, coming to the reproductive, maternal, newborn, child and adolescent health program, the RMNCH plus A, which is the current form of the RCH program. Following the Government of India's call to action, the CAT Summit in February 2013, the Minister of Health and Family Welfare launched this program to influence the key interventions for reducing the maternal and child morbidity and mortality. It is built upon the continuum of care concept and is holistic in design, encompassing all interventions aimed at all the life stages. And it is basically under the broad umbrella and focusing on the strategic life cycle approach. If you have a close look at the 5x5 matrix for the high impact RMNCH plus A interventions, we will see it basically focuses on the reproductive health, maternal health, newborn health, child health and the adolescent health as well, which shows a continuum of care. The key features being health system strengthening by focusing on the infrastructure, human resources, drugs and communities, the referral transport, along with prioritization of the investments, focusing on the high priority districts, tribal blocks, marginalized population, urban slums, integrated monitoring and accountability through good governance, use of data, communitization and grievance redressal, along with 5 high impact interventions across the 5 key life stages which we have already discussed. And all these to be achieved through convergence and partnerships with other ministries and departments as well, taking them as development partners and stakeholders. The 5x5 matrix in the reproductive health takes into the 5 focal areas as the spacing methods, the interval IUCDs, home delivery of contraceptives, ensuring access to the pregnancy testing kits, which is called the Nishchay kits, and strengthening the comprehensive abortion care services along with maintaining quality sterilization services. In the maternal health, the 5 main prongs are on using the MCTS to ensure early registration of pregnancy and full antenatal care, detect the high-risk pregnancies and line listing them, focusing on the anemic mothers, equip the delivery points with highly trained HR and ensuring equitable access to EMOC services through their FRUs, review the maternal, infant and child death, and identify the villages with low institutional delivery and distribute misoprostol to select women during the pregnancy. In the newborn area, early initiation and exclusive breastfeeding, home-based newborn care, essential newborn care and resuscitation at all delivery points, special newborn care units with highly trained human resource, and community level use of gentamicin by the ANM. Regarding child health, complementary feeding, diarrhea management with ORS and zinc, management of pneumonia, full immunization coverage, and the Rashtriya Bal Swasth Karyakram, which involves screening of the children for the 4 Ds. What are the 4 Ds? Birth defect, developmental delays, deficiencies, and diseases, and the management concerning them. In the adolescent health area, addressing the teenage pregnancy and increasing contraceptive prevalence in adolescents, introduce community-based services through peer educators, strengthening the adolescent clinics, roll out the National Iron Plus initiative including weekly IFA supplementation, and promote the menstrual hygiene. Regarding the health system strengthening, caseload-based deployment of HR at all levels, ambulances, drugs, diagnostics, and reproductive health communities being available, health education, demand promotion, behavioral change communication, supportive supervision, and use of the data for monitoring and reviewing, along with a public grievance redressal mechanism. And along with all these, there are certain cross-cutting interventions involved in this program. That is bringing down the out-of-pocket expenditure, ANM and nurses to provide specialized and quality care to pregnant women and children, addressing the social determinants of health through the convergence, focusing on the unserved and underserved villages, and introducing difficult area and performance-based incentives to the healthcare workers. Now have a look at the list of minimum essential communities. In the reproductive health, it's about the tubal rings, IUCDs, oral contraceptive pills, condoms, emergency contraceptive pills, pregnancy testing kits, that's the Nishchay kit. In the maternal health is the availability of injectable oxytocin, misoprostol tablet, injectable magnesium sulfate, tablet mifepristone, injection vitamin K in the newborn health area, mucus extractors, all the vaccines. In the child health, ORAs, zinc sulfate dispersible tablets, solbutable syrup and solbutable nebulizing solution, the necessary vaccines, and vitamin A syrup supplementation. In the adolescent health, availability of the tablet albendazole for deworming, tablet dicyclomine, and sanitary napkins, and certain other cross-cutting commodities as per the level of the facilities like IFA tablets, syrups and tablets regarding paracetamol, trimethoprim, sulfamethoxazole, chloroquine, dexamethasone injection, antibiotics, digital or clinical thermometer, weighing machine, BP apparatus, and many more. The HAMS indicators across the life cycle that are used in the pregnancy care are the first trimester registration, whether there has been 3 antenatal care checkups, consumption of 100 IFA intake, obstetric complications if they were attended, how many of them had the second tetanus toxoid injections. Regarding childbirth, the SBA attending the home deliveries, percentage of institutional deliveries, How many of them had cesarean section? And in the postnatal care, the proportion of newborns breastfed within 1 hour, women discharged in less than 48 hours, newborn weighing less than 2.5 kgs, newborn visited within 24 hours of home delivery, 0 to 11-month-old receiving the measles vaccine. In the reproductive age group, postpartum sterilization to total female sterilization, male sterilization to total sterilization, IUD insertion in public and private accredited institutions. Now coming to a very important program, the Janani Shishu Suraksha Karyakram or JSSK. It was launched on 1st of June 2011 and it benefits more than 12 million pregnant women who access the government health facilities for their delivery. This is the JSSK logo. The following are the free entitlement for the pregnant women. That is what? Free and cashless delivery, free cesarean section, free drugs and consumables, free diagnostics, free diet during the stay in the health institutions, free provision of blood, exemption from the user charges, free transport from home to health institution, free transport between facilities in case of any referral. And following the free entitlement for the sick newborn till 30 days after birth. And this has now been expanded to cover the sick infants as well. That's free treatment, free drugs and consumables, free diagnostics, free provision of blood, exemption from user charges, and free transport as required. Now, another related program is the JSY, or Janani Suraksha Yojana. The Janani Suraksha Yojana, or JSY, is a safe motherhood intervention under the NRHM. And its objectives are reducing the maternal and neonatal mortality and promoting the institutional delivery among the poor pregnant women. The Yojana was launched on 12th of April 2005. It is a 100% centrally sponsored scheme and it integrates cash assistance with delivery and post-delivery care. The focus is mainly on the poor pregnant women. The states having low institutional delivery rates, namely Uttar Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Orissa and Jammu Kashmir. That is Bimaru, Jog, LPS. This way you can remember them better. That's the low performing states. Bimaru, Jog. B for Bihar, MA for Madhya Pradesh, R for Rajasthan, U for Uttaranchal and Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, and J for Jammu Kashmir, O for Odisha. J for Jammu, O for Orissa, and K for Kashmir. All these are actually low performing states. And tracking each pregnancy by registering these beneficiaries through MCH card, ASHA or Anganwadi worker or any other identified link worker under the overall supervision of the ANM and the medical officer of the PHC should mandatorily prepare a micro birth plan, and the mother's package is usually 400 rupees in rural area and 1000 rupees in the urban area, and the ASHA's package is 600 in the rural area and 200 in the urban area. Well, this particular Happy Child logo with the 7 colors of the rainbow is the logo of the Mission Indradhanush, which is to strengthen and re-energize the program of the immunization to achieve full immunization coverage for all children and pregnant women at a rapid pace. It was launched in December 2014. The goal being ensuring full immunization with all available vaccines for children up to 2 years along with the pregnant women. And the focus is on the 28 states in the country that have highest number of partially immunized and unimmunized children. And this covers around 201 high focus districts.
Earlier, the increase in full immunization coverage was 1% per year, but with the inception of this Indradhanush program, there has been an increase to 6.7% per year through the first two phases of Indradhanush. 4 phases of Mission Indradhanush has been conducted till August 2017, and more than 2.53 crore children and 68 lakh pregnant women has been vaccinated. The intensified Mission Indradhanush was launched in October 8, 2017. It aims to reach each and every child up to 2 years of age and all those pregnant women who have been uncovered under the routine immunization program. The focus of the special drive was to improve immunization coverage in select districts and cities to ensure full immunization by December 2018. And finally, the intensified Mission 2.0. It is about conduction of 4 rounds of immunization activity over the 7 working days, excluding the RI days, that is the routine immunization days, Sundays and holidays, enhanced immunization session with flexible timings, mobile session and mobilization by other departments as well, enhanced focus on the left outs, dropouts and resistant families and hard to reach areas. The focus is also on the urban, underserved population and the tribal areas who are difficult to access through interministerial and interdepartmental coordination. Enhance political, administrative and financial commitment through advocacy. I Am 2.0 drive is being conducted in the select districts and urban cities between 2019 and 20. Coming to a very important program, that is the National Program for Family Planning. India was the first country in the world to have launched a National Program for Family Planning way back in 1952. Presently, it intends to achieve the population stabilization goals along with promotion of reproductive health and reduction of maternal, infant and child mortality as well as morbidity. Under the program, public health sector provides various health planning, family planning services at various levels of health system. It is presently known as the Mission Parivar Vikas. So you can see here the logo of the Mission Parivar Vikas. It has the slogan of Saaf Niyat Sahi Vikas. And what are the key initiatives? It involves new contraceptives made available to the subcenter level. Nayi Pehal. This is an initiative for provision of family planning kits for the newlyweds made available through the Ashas. Then another initiative under this is the Saas Bahu Sammelan, where encouragement is given to the young married women and their mother-in-laws to freely discuss matters related to family planning and reproductive health. And the other important component of this program is the Sarthi program. That is the family planning mobile van offering information and services at the community's doorstep. The key strategies involve providing more choices regarding the contraceptives, emphasizing on the spacing methods like IUCD, revitalizing the postpartum family planning, strengthening the community-based distribution of contraceptives by involving the Ashas, and focused BCC efforts for enhancing demand and creating awareness regarding family planning. Ensuring the quality care in family planning services by establishing quality assurance committees at the state and district levels, and increasing male participation and promoting non-scalpel vasectomy. Coming to another important program, that is the ICDS. It was launched on 2nd October 1975, the Integrated Child Development Services Scheme, one of the flagship programs of the Government of India. The beneficiaries under the scheme are children in the age group of 0 to 6 years, pregnant women, and as well as the lactating women. The major objectives are improving the nutritional and health status of children in the age group 0 to 6 years, to lay the foundation for proper psychological, physical, and social development of the child, to reduce the incidence of mortality, morbidity, malnutrition, and school dropout, to achieve effective coordination of policy and implementation among the various departments to promote the child development, and to enhance the capability of the mother to look after normal health and the nutritional needs of the child through proper nutrition and health education. The ICDS team comprises of the Anganwadi worker, the Anganwadi helpers, supervisors, the CDPOs or the Child Development Project Officers and District Program Officers or DPOs. This is very important for you. It is often asked in the exam. The Anganwadi worker is a lady selected from the local community and is a community-based frontline honorary worker of the ICDS program. She is also an agent of social change as she mobilizes the community support for better care of young children, girls and women. Besides the medical officers, the auxiliary nurse midwife or ANM and ASHA form a team with the ICDS functionaries to achieve convergence of different services. And what are the services under the ICDS? They're basically 6 services. Firstly, supplementary nutrition, preschool non-formal education, nutrition and health education, immunization, health checkup and referral services. The last 3 services are related to the health and are provided by the Ministry and Department of Health and Family Welfare through NRHM and health system. The supplementary nutrition target group is the children below 6 years as well as the pregnant and lactating women and provided by the Anganwadi worker along with their helpers. The immunization is again for all of them and provided through the ANM or medical officer. Health checkup is also the same. The referral services involve the Anganwadi worker, ANM, medical officer, basically a networking between them. And preschool education is provided to the children between 3 to 6 years and through the Anganwadi workers at the Anganwadis. The nutrition and health education is provided to the 15 and 45-year-old reproductive age women and it is catered by a network between the Anganwadi worker, ANM and medical officers. Provision of supplementary nutrition under the ICDS scheme is primarily made to bridge the gap between the recommended dietary allowance and the average daily intake of the children and pregnant and the lactating women as well. In case of children between 6 months to 72 months, extra 500 calories and 12 to 15 grams of protein are provided through these Anganwadis. And severely malnourished children, that is between 6 months to 72 months, are given 800 calories and 20 to 25 grams of protein, whereas pregnant women and lactating mothers are given 600 calories worth food and 18 to 20 grams of protein being a part of it. Now the IMNCI. What is IMNCI? It is an integrated approach to child health that focuses on the well-being of the whole child. It aims at reducing the death, illness and disability and to promote improved growth and development among children under 5 years of age. It includes both preventive and curative elements that are implemented by families and communities as well as by the health facilities. The major 3 components involve improving the case management skills of the healthcare staff, improving the overall health systems, along with improving the family and community health practices. Actually, this has come as an adaptation from the original IMCI, which was devised by the World Health Organization. And India has adopted some part of this IMCI of WHO and made it its own as IMNCI. Here there has been inclusion of 0 to 7 days age group as against 1 week to 5 years in IMCI to address the neonatal mortality challenge. The order of training was reversed, starting from the young infant 0 to 2 months to the older child 2 months to 5 years. The total duration of training was reduced from 11 days to 8 days, out of which half of the training was earmarked for the management of young infants, that is 0 to 2 months. Here, incorporating the national guidelines on malaria, anemia, vitamin A supplementation and immunization schedule was done. Home-based care of newborns and young infant was also included. So often it is asked in your exams, what's the difference between this IMNCI as devised by World Health Organization and IMNCI as adopted by our country? Well, in IMNCI, There is coverage of 0 to 6 days in the early newborn period, which IMCI under WHO doesn't. The basic healthcare module is present in IMNCI but not in IMCI. The home visit by provider for young and infants and newborn is present in IMNCI but not in the WHO one. Regarding the training for home-based care is not given in IMCI but it is provided in the IMNCI. Training days for newborn and young infants are 2 out of the 11 days, whereas in IMNCI it is 4 out of 11 days. The sequence of training is from 2 months to 5 years of age, then young infant, that is 7 days to 2 months of age. But here it is totally reversed. The major components are improving the health worker skill, that is case management standards and guidelines, training of facility-based public healthcare providers, IMNCI roles for private providers, and maintenance of competence among the trained healthcare workers. Regarding the health system, better district and block planning management, availability of the IMNCI mentioned drugs, quality improvement and supervision of the health facilities, referral pathways and services being revamped. Regarding improved family and community practices, encouraging appropriate care seeking, focusing on nutrition, home case management and adherence to recommended treatment, community services planning and monitoring as well. In the case management process of IMNCI, the 2 age categories that are focused are young infants from birth up to 2 months and older children from 2 months up to 5 years. The core interventions to improve child survival include combating pneumonia, sepsis, combating diarrhea, nurturing the newborns, infant feeding, immunization, and combating malaria. The principles to be aware of IMNCI are examining all sick children up to 5 years, assess for the main symptoms, routinely check for nutrition, immunization, HIV status in high HIV settings, and other potential problems. Classify the problem, use of limited drugs and active participation of the caregiver as well as counseling of the caregiver. And classifying using color codes. If it is pink, the patient requires urgent hospitalization, give pre-referral treatment and refer urgently to hospital. If it's yellow, specific medical treatment and advice as you do in your outdoor or clinic. If it is green, simple advice on home management and may require some homemade safe remedy.
Look at the IMNCI case management at the first level health facilities, the referral level and home. When to do what? First and foremost, you have to ask about the child's problem, check for the general danger signs, assess for the main symptoms, assess for the malnutrition and anemia, and check for other problems, and classify the child's condition and identify treatment. And based on the color coding, you have to advise and counsel the patients accordingly. If it is pink, one has to go for referral, an emergency triage, assessment and treatment is to be followed, diagnose and treat common serious conditions and monitor the patient's progress. In the yellow and green categories, one has to teach the parents about the treatment, counsel them about the feeding and when to return in case of emergency, and give them the oral drugs and treat the local infections, give food and fluids properly following the feeding recommendation, and return to the health facility whenever it is needed. And whenever on follow-up the child returns, one has to ensure the care and reassess for any new problem. The integrated case management process in the outpatient health facility, one has to check for the possible bacterial infection of jaundice, assess the symptoms of diarrhea, check for the feeding of problem or malnutrition and immunization status, and check for other problems as well. This is applicable for sick young infant up to 2 months of age. Next, coming to the classification of conditions and identifying the treatment. according to color-coded treatment charts. This is the pink is urgent referral at the outpatient health facility, pre-referral treatments, and advise the patients for referring the young infant. Carry out emergency triage, diagnosis and treatment, as well as monitoring and follow-up when required. In the yellow, the outpatient health facility, treat the local infection, give oral drugs, advise and teach the caretaker, and ensure follow-up. In the green, the caretaker is counseled how to give oral drugs, treat local infections, continue exclusive breastfeeding, give the young infant warm, and when to return immediately for follow-up. IMNCI case management in outpatient, FRU, and at home for sick child from age 2 months to 5 years. Here the integrated case management process again is almost on the similar lines, that is checking for the danger signs of convulsion, lethargy, unconsciousness, inability to drink or breastfeed, vomiting, and assess the main symptoms along with, as well as assess the nutrition and immunization status and other problems present. And further on, classify the conditions and identify the treatment of action based on the color code as mentioned earlier. Here is important to know another term that's called the CIMNCI. It is the community IMCI, which is meant to empower the communities and households to adopt the healthy and safe practices to protect the health of children under 5 years of age. In 2011, WHO and UNICEF further developed caring for newborn and children in the community. That includes home visits for newborn care and for children's healthy growth and development, and integrated community case management by community health workers. Further, it also involves the diagnosis and treatment of diarrhea, malaria, and pneumonia among children aged 2 months to 59 months, and to detect the severe acute malnutrition in children 6 months to 59 months, particularly in communities where access to facility-based services is poor. Another important program is the Intensified National Iron Plus Initiative, or INEP. Why was Anemia Mukt Bharat needed in the very first place? Anemia is a silent epidemic that impacts the physical growth, mental and work capacity, and the lives of future generations. All population groups in India are affected by anemia, and hence intensified efforts are needed to tackle this problem. If you have a good look at this Anemia Mukt Bharat program, it is basically composing of 6 beneficiaries that has 6 by 6 strategy. That is 6 beneficiaries, 6 interventions, and 6 institutional mechanisms. This is often asked in the examination. Thus, what is the 6 by 6 by 6 strategy in Anemia Mukt Bharat? We find that 58% of the children aged 6 to 59 months are anemic. 54% of adolescent girls aged 15 to 19 are again anemic. And same applies for 29% of adolescent boys, 53% of women in their reproductive age, and 50% of pregnant women, as well as 58% of the breastfeeding mothers. 415 million beneficiaries, reaching nearly 50% of the country's total population. And the 6 beneficiaries are these 6 age groups. There's the children between 6 to 59 months, children between 5 to 9 years, 10 to 19 years, pregnant women, lactating women, and women of reproductive age. Interventions include, firstly, prophylactic IFA supplementation, periodic deworming of children and adolescent women of reproductive age and pregnant women, intensified year-round behavioral change communication campaign, including ensuring delayed cord clamping, testing of anemia using digital methods of point-of-care treatment, mandatory provision of iron and folic acid fortified foods in public health programs, and addressing the non-nutritional causes of anemia in endemic pockets with special focus on malaria. And the 6 institutional mechanisms involved intra-ministerial coordination, National Anemia Mukt Bharat Unit, National Center of Excellence in Advanced Research on Anemia Control, convergence with other ministries, and strengthening supply chain and logistics an Anemia Mukt Bharat dashboard and digital portal, one-stop shop for the anemia. What's new? The whole coordinated management efforts involve institutional structure for convergence and support, ensuring that there is zero stockouts, new methods for screening and treatment, HMIS anemia scorecards are being used, quarterly reviews and biannual field checks are present, year-round BCC camper, national and state anemia academic centers are being set up, and obviously there has been new systems of rewards and recognition in this. So after this, we come to a very important question often asked in the exam is what are the health problems of adolescent? Mention the national programs concerning the improvement of adolescent health and some important health educational messages for the benefit of adolescent girl. So let's have a look. Well, if we divide this whole adolescence into three major groups, there's the early adolescence, which is between the 10 and 13 years with developmental changes on the onset of puberty. The behavioral changes, demand for privacy, group activities are primarily with the members of his or her own sex. The priority changes. It may start engaging in risky behaviors such as experimenting with smoking, drugs, and many more. At the mid adolescence, that is between 14 and 16 years of age, it follows puberty by about 1 to 1.5 years. And the behavior changes here with streaks of irritability, mood swings, and rapidly changing feelings. And the priority also changes. The parental obedience is replaced by conformity to peer group standards and peer loyalties, and contact with adults outside the family often occurs at this age. Coming to the late adolescence, between 17 and 19 years of age, the period of transition, the individual gains grip of his or her future. Regarding their behavior, they realize that the parents can be their best friends too. Increased bonding between parents and adolescents, especially both shows mutual respect for each other, which is very important. The priority changes with more selective and discriminating in his or her relationships and very concerned about the future. And various components play important role in adolescence in this stage. The major demands being emotional, physical, spiritual, social, and intellectual, with the physical domains containing the fitness, nutrition, medical self-care, control of substance misuse, the emotional component caring for the emotional crises, stress management, and the social component catering to the community, family, friends, bonding with them, and the intellectual, the education, achievement, career, development, and the spiritual, there is a love, hope, charity being ingrained here. So the components of adolescent health program usually focuses on the personal health and hygiene, reproductive health and sexuality, their mental health, healthy lifestyle, good nutrition and dietary practices, as well as a focus on the marriage and family. The major adolescent health programs in our country is RMSH plus A, which we have already dealt, Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram RKSK, Kishori Shakti Yojana, which is meant to improve the health and nutritional status of girls. Nutritional program for adolescent girls, NPAG, Balika Samriddhi Yojana, WIFS, that is the weekly iron and folic acid supplement, National AIDS Control Program, and the adolescent friendly health clinic. It is good to know the Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram, that is RKSK, a bit, that's knowing the beneficiaries, that is it is the adolescent aged between 10 to 19, launched in January 2014 with the key principles of adolescent participation and leadership, equity and inclusion, gender equity and strategic partnerships with other sectors and stakeholders, with the vision being enabling all adolescents in India to realize their full potential by making informed and responsible decisions related to their health and well-being. The objectives are improving their nutrition, sexual and reproductive health, mental health, preventing injuries and violence, as well as preventing the substance misuse. The levels at which interventions can be delivered is the individual level, which involves a lot of peer interventions, peer education, youth recreation programs, and mentoring programs. At the family level, parent training and family interventions. School level, curriculum-based education and whole school organization and behavioral management interventions. At the community level, through local environmental change by making safety issues and policing. And the national level, health service reorganization, employment and training, law and policing changes subject to the need, social marketing and socioeconomic changes. So that is a comprehensive go at many of the reproductive health programs that you need to know from your exam point of view. Hope you like this. Do share, subscribe. Again, I'm reiterating, it's completely free and what you need in the future. Thank you so much. Do subscribe and happy studying.